be my I still got a lot of shit to learn, I'll admit.
Hello folks, today on Western Bacon News, I will be reporting the event that has occurred recently in the west of Africa.
And I'll be discussing the growing rate of obesity throughout the world on Western Bacon News today.
Now today I'll be interviewing our savior here, Adam. So what have you exactly witnessed when you saw the poachers?
So basically I'm leading safari expeditions, so we're usually driving around the park. So I was out there and I noticed the gang of the poachers went down for a rhino, and yeah, I was like, what the heck, because people, they're not allowed to live in here, so what are these people exactly? By watching closely with my binocular, I saw they have some weapons, so that's how I noticed they are poachers.
And what did you exactly notice, Adam, when you saw the poachers? And what was also the first thing that came to your mind to do?
After I noticed they have some weapons, so I exactly knew the poachers. So right away I called the ranger who has my number. I had his number handy. So I called him and told him the location and the number of people. I think there were 3 guys, and you know what they have exactly. So right away they take some action.
And why do poachers exactly hunt animals, and what are the consequences?
The rhino horn, back in the days, people, they believe it was helping the men as a beneficism. But in this generation, they don't really use for that. They're just keeping for the status. And it's very expensive. For a rhino horn, for example, right now, in a kilo, 1 kilo of a rhino horn is about $100,000. So it's more than a gold. And so it's a very expensive thing. That's why people, they still going to hunt, and they're still investing a lot. In some countries like South Africa, the poachers even using high tech on hunting the rhino, just because they get a lot of money back.
How can our viewers help to prevent this?
So basically, I will say not to buy anything, any rhino product. That will be the first thing, because if there is no market, then the poacher will definitely stop. But also to support, because now it's very expensive to protect these animals. There is a special unit watching the rhino 24 hours. So there is a lot of money needed. So if people can donate to help these animals, it will be very helpfully, and we'll definitely keep these animals not endangered anymore.
Okay.
Yes.
So the main things are to donate and help preventing this.
By not buying any rhino product.
Yes.
So in that way, the market will die naturally.
Okay, Adam.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me interview with me today at Western Bacon News, and back to the studio. Thank you, Bob and Adam, for informing us about the poaching of the rhinos. Well, today statistically, there are only 5,000 rhinos left in whole Africa that are being tracked. So do whatever it takes, as Adam said, to help prevent extinction of the rhinos. My morning segment is over on Western Bacon News. Now over to Lewis.
Thank you, Lazar. If you just joined us on Western Bacon News, welcome to our morning edition. And our headlines: growing obesity. A recent study done on growing obesity rates show in the world there are 3 out of 10 people who are considered obese. An incident which most regular people aren't aware throughout the world. According to Alexander Sifferlin on Time.com, 3 out of 10 people are considered obese or overweight. And a study done by NIDDK, or the National Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Disease, said that people with obesity are prone to diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and strokes. We now have an obesity expert explain the issue. And now to you, Dr. Biesman.
Thank you, Lewis. So as you were saying, the obesity rates in the world have skyrocketed. For example, since 1975, worldwide, obesity rates have tripled, and also in 2016, more than 1.9 billion adults were obese, whilst 650 million people under the ages of 18 years old were obese as well.
Do you think there are many ways for people to avoid being obese? And if there are, how can that be done? And if people are already obese, how can they leave that category?
There are many ways to prevent obesity or becoming overweight. Some of these methods are to eat more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains rather than more fatty products and sweet food. Exercising at least 30 minutes a day, and as I said earlier, cut down the amount of foods and sugary foods you eat, and also to use vegetable oil rather than animal-based fats. For you guys at home, if you would want to check which weight category you are in, you use a BMI calculator, also known as body mass index, to see if you're either underweight, normal weight, overweight, or obese.
Thank you, Dr. Bieseman, for your insight. But unfortunately, we're going to have to end this segment of Western Bacon News Morning. We will be with you every morning at 8 a.m.
Lewis Martin
And Lazar Bozeman with Western Bacon News signing off.